Year 8 English video on the book Once, and we're up to chapter 3. As we can see at the start of this, the first sentence is, again, once I saw a customer years ago damaging books in mum and dad's shop, tearing pages out. It starts with the word once, just like every other chapter does, and following on from the end of chapter 2, where it talks about how he's feeling very upset because the men are burning books. He goes on in like a flashback in thinking about an incident that happens in his parents' bookshop. It's a very personal thing and it links him to his family. When it comes to the setting of chapter 3 in Once, we're setting against the backdrop of Nazi burning. So the very last sentence of chapter 2 was his deep distress about book burning. And now as we move into chapter 3, we find it starts with a sentence about his parents having their books burnt in their shop. Well, Nazi book burning first took place in 1933. Here's a picture of an SS Gestapo and the German people doing the Heil Hitler salute amongst a pile of burning books. So any books that were deemed to not reflect the views of the Nazi government were burnt. All Jewish books, both religious and authored by Jews, were burnt. And many other authors, particularly from the Western world, many authors from America, were burnt as well. These books had been decided to not be appropriate for the German people, and therefore they were destroyed. Now in 1933, this happened in Berlin, but 11 years later, book burning was extended to the lands that Germany had annexed. Germany annexed a number of countries in World War II: Czechoslovakia, Poland, France, Belgium, Luxembourg, Serbia, and parts of the Soviet Union were annexed by the German Nazi Party, and books were destroyed throughout those countries. But not only books. It wasn't just the burning of books, it was also the gassing of Jewish people. This is what we call Operation Reinhard. Operation Reinhard ran from 1941 through to 1943, and it was the code name that the Nazis had given for the plan to exterminate all of the Jews, the Ashkenazi Jews living in Poland. If we turn our attention to the characters in chapter 3 and the development that's happened, we find out a number of interesting things about Felix. Felix finds out very clearly from Mother Minka that his parents did not send the carrot. We can see here on page 20, Felix, she says, your parents did not send the carrot. He thinks that it's a sign that his parents are going to pick him up. We find out the truth that Sister Elwira put the carrot in your soup, and she did it because she felt sorry for him. Panic is swamping him as a result of this. He feels very upset when he gets confronted with the fact that the parents aren't coming to collect him. So we find out a few things also about other members of the orphanage. Father Ludwig says Adolf Hitler keeps us safe too. Mother Minka doesn't answer. She just presses her lips together and closes her eyes. Very clearly that Mother Minka is not supportive of the Nazis, but Father Ludwig is supportive of the Nazis. I've made a little note here which talks about how some of the Catholic Church in Poland were supportive of Hitler. We have a really interesting conversation that comes up between Dodi and Felix. And here, Dodi asks Felix if he's Jewish, and then says, well, what is Jewish? And Felix answers, Jewish is like Catholic, only different. So he's sort of correlating the idea that being Jewish has a religious aspect to it in the same way that being Catholic does. But that's not all that Jewish is. Being Jewish is also ethnic, where being Catholic isn't. So being Catholic is purely religious, but being Jewish is both religious, has a religious aspect historically, and an ethnic aspect as well. It has development in chapter 3 is Yankel. Yankel has a conversation right at the end of chapter 3 with Felix. Felix is about to leave the orphanage. And you can see here that Yankel says, "Don't go, it's too dangerous. There are Nazis everywhere," he says. "Look, I can't tell you what the Nazis are doing because Mother Minka made me swear on the Bible that I wouldn't tell anyone. She doesn't want everyone upset and worried. Thanks, I say. I know what they're doing. They're burning books." The point of this interaction is this. Yankel knows the truth about the Nazis. There's much more to Yankel. He was hiding in the toilet. He was hiding from the Nazis. He knows that it's more than just burning books. So Yankel is someone who's come face to face with the terror of the Nazi regime.